And
Welcome everyone to the wishful thinking, September 11th meeting of the Community Service Advisory Board. Should we go around and introduce ourselves since we have some guests and staff members here? I think that would be a good idea. All right, we're going to start with, well, Nicole, you know everybody, don't you?
what's that?
Do you know everybody?
I do know everybody, but
You can introduce yourself.
Nicole Hall, Community Services.
Art Dillon.
Chris,
They're all right. Roger Shabbat.
there you go.
Amanda Doherty.
Okay, everybody, and the
How
first,
about our guest?
Jill, they're gonna introduce themselves when they get
Okay.
to that.
Okay.
For the committee, let's approve the minutes or review the minutes and approve them from the July 11th meeting. Did everyone have
Move to approve July's minutes.
Second.
all those in favor?
Yes.
Does Brittany need to vote? Brittany need to vote on the minute.
Brittany, are you?
Oh, there she is.
You
Okay.
good?
Yeah, she's raising her hand.
Okay,
Well, just clarification. There's 5 voting members, 2 alternates, correct?
Today, yeah.
today, oh,
2, 3,
But
4,
is she
you
the
can
five.
vote.
Well, he can vote because when I was an alternate, I could vote if
That's
if
what I
someone
thought.
was not
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
So we have.
okay, citizen comment, anyone here who, and it's only on agenda items, is there anyone here from the public that would like to comment or ask a question? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on.
I'm gonna say there's none online, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna invite, welcome Larry, who is our new liaison to the committee, but he's at a finance committee meeting. He should be here. He said around 6:30, and he was apologizing. Okay. Next, we are thrilled to have some community service staff members here at our meeting. So if you, do you want?
Yeah, I'll take the lead and then I'll turn it over to the
Because
group.
then we would really like to have you introduce yourself.
Yeah, no, as the advisory board knows, our department plays a vital role in the town. And we're composed of our admin team, operations and events, recreation, intergenerational programming, beaches and waterfront, parks and grounds, cable TV, and facilities. Tonight with us is most of our admin team and our ops and recreation and program staff here that work out of the hub. Our parks and grounds team are not present. Our intergenerational program manager, Audra, is out of the office the rest of the week, so she's not here as well. And our facilities team is based out of the town hall, so they will not be in attendance tonight. So I'm gonna start and allow the staff to introduce themselves, talk about how long they've been here, and discuss their roles and responsibilities within the division. So we can kick it off with Jill.
I'm Jill Deering. I'm the marketing or operations and marketing specialist. I started in 2018, I believe, as an administrative secretary, and it kind of morphed into what my position is now. One of my big things that I do separate is the brochure, our program brochure. And then I do a lot of like the marketing for special events and other events or hiring or programs. And then I work on the special events as well. So like setting them up, and I'm generally there working on it day of as well.
Brandy Bradley, I'm Events and Operations Coordinator. I started here full-time in 2016, so almost 9 years, and then I worked for summer camp a few years before that. And then I do all of the scheduling for our fields and facilities, so anything from lights from high school, middle school programs, and then any outside groups or any of our programs. I also do all the scheduling for this building and for the town hall. So any rooms that get set up or whatever, we schedule all of that, and then our facilities staff sets all that up. I also do the passport program here. So we did about 1,000 passports last year, I think just shy. So it's a pretty big part of what I do regularly. Other than that, I cover the desk and help plan and facilitate a lot of our special events.
I'm Zach Bluger, I'm the new guy on the block, I've been in Scarborough Community Services since July, so only a couple months. Currently I'm working in conjunction with Steve Kramer, focusing on our youth sports, specifically right now it's youth soccer. But looking to diversify programming from youth sport and also just youth programs in general into young adult programming and community programming.
I'm Jeff Platts. I'm the active adult program coordinator. I've been here just a little over a year. But I have about 18 years of experience at previous municipalities. I joke that my job is making coffee and setting up tables and chairs. But, last weekend I, visited with, one of our participants, had passed away, so I went to a celebration of life and I spoke with the widow, and a lot of the people who she had seen at the event that day were people that connections she had made through our weekly luncheons. And so it just reminded me that, you know, with the support of the team, yes, we make the coffee and set up the tables and chairs, but we provide an opportunity for real connections that can be lasting connections. And she really was supportive of the friends that she's made through coming here. So I think that's really the bigger piece of what I do. So we do some passive things like we have, opportunity for games and, like bridge and bingo and cards and all that. But I also, plan some activities for them. So tomorrow we're going on a yarn shop hop. We're driving we're gonna drive to Bath, and then we're gonna go to Freeport, grab some lunch, and then come back to Dora. And then we do have a trip planned for Niagara Falls in June of 2026, which is now taking a wait list, so.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are the types of things that.
My name's Steve Kramer, I'm the recreational waterfront manager, I have been in this department since November of 2007. I oversee the summer specialty camps, the summer beach operations. And then during the school year, all the rec activities, adult, youth. And I work with Gail on a regular basis, helping her wherever she needs help. And happy to have Zach along to add some programming, you know, shuffle some things around and add some things, so. Thanks for having us.
I'm Andrea Sklobicki. I have been here full-time about 24 years. I worked 3 years for childcare before that. Mainly during the school year, I'm responsible for before and after school care. During the summers, I do teen trips and run the new CIT program.
So I just want to kind of wrap up with our staff here and our staff that aren't here. We're incredibly lucky not only to have such tenured staff. A lot of these people are very devoted to Scarborough and the community itself. It speaks volumes, you know, in terms of consistency and how long folks have been here and what they provide the town, and just how big we are as a department, and how stretched thin we can be at times. And everybody is always jumping in to help in any area possible for our department. I'm super proud to be the director in this department, because the people we work with on an everyday basis, they work extremely hard to provide for the community, and just thankful for them on a daily basis and what they do.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Now, I'm not sure if anybody has any questions for staff.
Yeah.
I don't think they're all gonna stay for the duration of the meeting.
And they should not.
I've been here for a whole day, but if you have some questions, feel free to shoot them their way.
I want to thank everybody that was involved in the Summerfest again this year, and I know it's been here for a long time, and you guys work hard at it. Nicole for setting it up. I was there, I had been there 2 years back. Now and then coming in, not all the time, but I was involved with our booth. And I want to also thank Brittany up there for
holding the fort
Yeah,
for us,
yeah.
and Nick for all of that you did. It turned out, I don't know how you count people in there,
We're
but.
still waiting for those numbers, but there is technology out there,
Yes,
so.
but anyways, it was, I think it's a success, and thank you very much for.
I was just gonna say, out of all the events, that is the event that literally everybody is a part of it. So the entire department helps out with that one. That's the only way it would ever work.
You guys have any questions for us?
I have a statement. I know we really wanted to be here and introduce ourselves to you all because we are able to watch the meetings if we do so. So we are able to get to know you guys kind of through a camera, through the computer. But your recommendations that go to town council we are the ones that have to implement it. So we wanted to build that relationship. And we just thought that was really important.
It's incredibly important, and I think the one thing we have to remember as a committee is the word advisory. And so it is a team effort, like, we work closely with Nick as a representative of you, but none of us, like, we shouldn't be directing, we're advising. So if you ever, and through Nick, if you feel that has tipped the scales, please communicate that to us. Just, is that
Yeah.
okay to say that?
Of course.
And I would even add to that of whether it sounds like we're directing or advising, sometimes it's obviously just language that comes out, but if we are regularly advising on things that you're saying, how do you think we have the capacity to do this? Please share that as well, because sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. So I know, like, in my day-to-day job, like, something sounds really good, but like in reality, it's a terrible idea. And I think having that respectful feedback, it can also allow us in the future to say, you know what, we understand this about this issue. I wonder how it looks here, and have that collaboration. So I agree. And I'm so glad that you said that, because it's really important.
Yeah. And if there are things when you see, and I'm sure you do share our agenda, if there's something on there that like raises the panic level, like, oh, what are they gonna do and what are they gonna make us do? Because I know you all work incredibly hard for the community. Please, I'm asking them to tell you, to tell us,
Absolutely.
send that message, because to what Amanda's point is, like, we're gonna talk about it in our little worlds. And so if there's a concern among the staff, like, I can see they're gonna be talking about this, can you make sure you say X, Y, Z? Please do that.
And we've certainly had some issues in the last couple of the last year, just hot button priority issues in terms of the animal ordinance. The work that went in there and the beach related fees. So there was a lot of eyes and ears on the department and what we do. So I think we all felt that throughout the last year, and open lines of communications are best for everyone.
Yep. And thank you, truly, you do an amazing job for the size of the community that Scarborough is.
You all are welcome to leave if you want. You're welcome to stay at the table, however you feel fit.
Don't rush.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate all you guys do. Thank you.
You're there.
Want these to stay here. And
Take this.
You want to jump ahead to
Oh, before we do that, for the notes, what was Zach's last name?
McGoldrick?
Oh, like McGoldrick.
Yep.
Like it, is he related to the McGoldricks?
Yeah, his dad's a
Contractor.
per diem fire department employee for the town of Scarborough.
And there, he grew up in Cape.
I think he grew up in Guam.
Gorham.
It's all that same thing,
Same,
probably.
same.
Okay,
He
and,
used to be on the Portland Fire Department.
and how did Andrea spell her last name? Splovicki?
That one I can write out. for you.
Thank you. Just email it to me. Sorry, sidetrack. That was great. Maybe we should like do that more frequently.
Yeah, we maybe every other meeting or every third meeting, or,
Especially if we have a topic to.
Well, that's what I mean.
Right.
Maybe we
Sure.
tie it into
Yeah,
the
like if you're
topic.
comfortable with them giving feedback before, without it being like funneled through you first. we'd love to
always
have them,
comfortable with their
so.
feedback. We
Okay.
get it consistently and we try to be as involved as
Yeah.
possible.
Awesome.
They have to live
Always
it.
welcome.
So, yeah, they live it.
If they want to
so.
put the time in to
Yeah.
be here after
Right,
work,
exactly.
then
We don't want to,
I think
we
they
don't
could,
want to record.
they could come.
We can
anytime.
certainly offer it.
And I don't want them
open
to feel obligated.
Sure.
Sometimes you like, my boss has to.
I would think at the very least, if they put in, then
quarterly or
we could have a standing item of
Right,
feedback or whatever.
right.
Especially every
That's
year.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Instead of making them come, if we could do, I mean, I know you give the report, but maybe there's something.
Have like a
they-
Google sheet or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Well, and we have consistent staff meetings too,
Right.
Yeah,
Well, we could even just every kind of new year, like when there's new numbers and stuff, is try and have them all be at that one, so as we're introducing new members of us to the community, it's
Right.
kind of also them.
Right. That'd be great.
Especially if we make progress on a volunteer.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
Yeah.
That would be great. Because then it does give a unified front. You guys, they feel more supported too, because we're all taxpayers in the community.
Right.
So. Okay. Thank you for doing that. All right, so Nick, you've got a update?
Sure. I'll piggyback a little bit off what Roger said. Just wanted to do a recap on Summerfest. It was a great success for us with record attendance. We could tell by the sheer volume. We will get the data from Karen Martin here at some point. But the addition of the entrepreneurial market, which was all Nicole's doing, received rave reviews. It was amazing to see future salespeople out there.
I think some of them like rivaled some of the actual
I wholeheartedly.
Yes, yep.
businesses.
I agree. There's some great stuff there. And thank you, Brittany, for
Yes.
personing the table.
Yes.
And getting the feedback that we so much appreciate. And then thank you to Nicole and our staff. Obviously, it's a really big to-do and it all happens on the day of. Well, a lot of work goes in the off season, but the day of is all hands on deck. So I felt really amazed to be a part of such a community-wide event. And it's
This
a
was
small
your
piece to it.
first one?
Yeah, this is. my
That's what I thought, okay.
So it was great. I know Larry is gonna have an update on the townwide survey. I believe that is gonna be out at the end of this month, or in sometime in October, it will be going out and hitting the streets. We are getting some questions on it. I have not seen a full review of that yet or what exactly is going on there. But we will have some data points to collect from that. And I know Larry is on the committee, so he will probably have a further update on that when he arrives, or we could read from his update that he provided both Trish and I. I was asked to give an update on the process of filling vacant seats on our board. As people do or do not know, we have Art Dillon, longtime member, and Roger Chabot, longtime member, terming off at the end of November.
It's
So
not gonna be the same. Seriously,
No, it'll
in
be
all
weird.
seriousness, I'm not like kidding.
yeah, it's the end of an era, so to speak. But just know that you can take a year off and you can always apply to come back. So you guys will receive letters in the mail from the town. In addition to that, Alex Marshall also has a 2025 term date. He would be eligible to apply for consideration for appointment. So I have made him aware of that. Daryl Wright is an alternate member of our advisory board at this current time. He will need to reapply for reappointment as a full-time member and could segue into one of those vacancies as a alternate that we have. Brittany is the first alternate and her term goes to 2027, so we have you a little bit longer. So she will be bumped to a full-time member status in November, and communications will come from town clerk's office and how that process rolls out. And then just, for the public, applications are open to join Community Service Advisory Board. And with some vacancies open, we obviously are looking to fill those seats. So you can apply it through the town clerk's office. Addition to that, I just wanted to go through some recaps from a departmental standpoint. First and foremost, I wanted to recap our beach season. It's sad that it's gone and over, but it's an intense time for us. Very busy summer we had. The weather was outstanding, so we saw an influx of volume at all three of our beaches that we oversee. And I wanted to speak a little bit to the infrastructure improvements that we made in the off season and the impact that had for especially the localized traffic. We had a new gate system designated in and out, a trolley stop addition, and it really helped with flow for folks in and out of the facility. We had some hiccups early on. I think it was just an educational piece. We needed to make people aware of how to turn in, how to turn out. We had to make some adjustments on the fly. It's tight quarters coming through the gate. But we made those, and all in all, it was a success. We've received some positive feedback from the neighborhoods, especially around the trolley stops and the traffic congestion in areas. So we're happy with how that performed. As you know, this was our second year of our park ranger program, another raving success this year. Nicole and I are hopeful to push forward to ask for maybe potentially additional seasonal park rangers to help just spread the wealth. It's 7-day coverage with 3 folks. It becomes really difficult when you need to give people 2 days off. So how we do that, we're gonna work behind the scenes to see if that's feasible for us moving forward. But we really truly value the educational experience. We've also received very positive feedback, especially from the Higgins Beach area in terms of the surfing and the ordinances and restrictions there. I think just sheer presence and the amount of volume of use, having people on site is very important. And the public feels a little bit more safe when we have a better, stronger presence. And then just in terms of volume, this year we sold 7,713 beach passes as a town. That is about almost 200 more than last year, 7,521. And then in terms of parking statistics, we were actually a little bit down on the transactions, and we're not sure if that was relevant to the change in price from the variable rates, the $5 kind of fixed up to the 20, or more people who bought passes. So I think it just kind of offset each other, and we were within the similar realms. Just one
Some
way.
rainy weekends too.
And we had a very rainy
June
May.
was rough too,
Yeah.
even if it wasn't raining, so.
But all in all, I think it, just having that data, available for folks to digest is important.
So just for the minutes again, I'm sorry, daily parking was down? but
Daily
beach
parking
passes
was
up.
down, about 2,000 transactions, from 20,000 to 17,300. And then beach passes were up.
So how did the revenue?
We're still shaking it out, end of the year, but I think all in all, we're a little bit up just based on, the parking costs, the daily transactions, being a bit higher and consistent, throughout the summer.
And we put a cap on,
We also put a 350 person cap on non-residents, so
Right.
we went from about 436 daily, season
Right.
passes last year down to 350.
Yeah.
So it's interesting running through the data to try to find the different variables and changes, so we're still currently doing that.
yeah, I mean, and that's, should be something reviewed again, just as
Yeah.
a follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing most recently that we provided to the town manager, and who will be going to town council here at some point, was just some beach related data on ordinance pieces, on different things that came up. What our park rangers, we call them interaction reports. So our park rangers do an interaction report on a daily basis. It could be anything from dogs to smoking on the beach, or alcohol violations, or anything parking related. So I think it's important to let people know what happens and transpires on a daily basis at the beaches. So that will be public information when it's funneled through and reported to town council. And that was something that council wanted to see in this first year, for us to track more data. So we worked hand in hand with the police department and dispatch to provide those reports. So they were super helpful, and with our ACL, our animal control officer, for their reports to combine everything. And that's all I have on the beach process or summer. From a rec program standpoint, we're seeing really strong numbers in all of our programs, increases in most of them. We have 550 kids enrolled in our pre-K through 6th grade, I believe it is, youth soccer. That's a record number for the town of Scarborough. It seems to be increasing a little bit each year. And I think you're seeing the success at the middle school and the high school levels, because we have such a strong feeder program. So I'm really proud of the staff. Zach and Steve have worked really hard to get that program off the ground last week. We have a new, our mini kicks clinic that's starting actually this Saturday, has 30 enrolled. We kind of moved it to a Saturday, made it a little bit more available, almost tripled the numbers there. So we're excited about that as well. And our active adult 55+ program has seen such a strong turnout, and that's due to Gail's work. She works really hard to improve the program. These larger trips we're doing, when we combine with Colette trips to Niagara Falls, and there's a couple additional ones that they're doing.
Iceland.
Iceland.
She's got the Niagara Falls. They're gonna do a canyon trip
Yeah,
So
we're
huge.
starting to get folks that don't really activate in our regular daily or weekly program, integrated into our program. So we're excited about the future of that as well.
I was wondering, the local trips to Bath and stuff, do you see a lot of repeat?
Yeah, we see a lot of repeat. Yep.
Okay.
But even then, there's people that have joined
I
that
say
have
there
now
will be
become.
some crossover.
Yeah.
The nice thing about like Gail has done a really good job of partnering with a whole bunch of different things, like you've got Tai Chi, and we not that long ago had like a stroke support group. So again, groups that may not necessarily utilize the service, they're coming in, they're seeing the center, they're like, oh, let me grab a brochure. It's creating that open door, and then some of
Right.
them are participating now in programs.
Yeah, and she does a great job partnering with surrounding municipalities as well, and joining on trips as well. A little bit about childcare updates. We did have a resignation of a full-time coordinator late in the summer, early fall. So we're looking to fill that position right now. So many of our full-time staff are working in the before and after school. Nicole was at an after-school program today. We are in our final stages of the interview process there. We're second round next week. So we're hoping to close on that position very quickly and have that filled by hopefully October 1st.
You're a strong candidate.
We had a
Say.
great applicant pool. I think we had upwards of 15. I
But
think
like quality, like
of
experience.
Yeah, we whittled it down to 7. We ended up interviewing 5 to start, and we're bringing 3 back for second.
That's great.
Wow.
It's really good.
Scarborough seems to be a place where people are actively looking to be employed by. It says a lot about the town itself. With that being said, we have 235 kids in our active before and after school program.
Wow.
That's with 52 on the wait list. That wait list is conducive based on, our restraints in terms of staffing and somewhat in terms of just the spaces at the actual schools that we have. Hopefully, if the referendum passes in the fall and those buildings get built to a little bit higher capacity, that we get some additional space and we can additionally staff it and support the need for the town. And then, I need to do a plug, so to speak, for anybody out there that might be listening. We're always actively recruiting for our after-school positions, specifically the 3 to 5:30. If anybody's looking for a part-time job, but we're always open and available, and we're looking for folks that want to come work with kids.
It's where I started. It
it
worked
really?
well with a college, like college schedule. It's like I could go and do morning care, go do my classes, and come back and do aftercare.
I did.
So,
Did
yeah.
you?
I worked afternoons and the evenings. And then lastly, just special events, upcoming programming. Pumpkin carving is our next event. That's October 25th, followed by our Passport Day in November 27th. And then Santa in the Park will be December 7th this year. So those are upcoming events. And then in addition to that, I just want to talk a little bit briefly about project updates for the town. For our department specifically, as most have noticed, the full renovation of the basketball court project really came to fruition this week. The lines went down yesterday, and they're seal coating the parking lot tomorrow. So we are with hopes of good weather tomorrow, and the next day we should be open for the public. September 15th, our target date, next Monday.
Nice.
And it looks
It's very
great.
The hoops look very nice.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback
Yeah.
about that as well. So we certainly support that, appreciate the support from the town manager and appropriation from council for the funding for that. You'll also notice the track project.
How was that funded?
That's a capital improvement investment.
Is that
from the town.
from the school or from the town?
No, that's from us. That was appropriated through capital plan. You'll also notice the track project is mostly complete. It's 90% complete. It went a few extra weeks. They ran into some issues, with fence lines and some wiring. But the high school is back actively on it. So we're excited about that, but the lines haven't gone down on it. So they're trying to find a 5 to 7 day window either this fall to do it. Takes ambient temperatures, then you can't have people crossing it, so it affects sports. So in all likelihood, the lines will go on it in the spring. But the school department is still figuring out how they'll finalize that, but it looks amazing.
Are they playing games there?
Yep, high school opened up football last week. I know.
Without
soccer played.
lines?
There's lines on the field, but it's
It's
the
not on a
track.
track.
Oh,
track-
gotcha,
track-
gotcha.
The
Okay.
thing you did,
Yeah,
I was
like,
like, how was
all right.
that?
Track is
working?
a.
A lot of
spring
traffic
sport.
cones.
No, track is a spring sport, so.
Gotcha.
The field is in great shape.
Good.
And then just a few other updates. We have an intent to bid out for the Little League lights at Peterson Field. That'll be closing here in a few weeks. We also have an intent to bid going out for a new electronic sign that will be going out here at the hub, which will allow us to do a little bit better marketing and be available to the public. So we're hoping that that one closes in early October.
Is that gonna be right out in front of here?
Yeah, it's gonna be
the
added right to
construction?
to the actual sign that we have out
Oh,
there. It'll be
good.
Yeah,
mounted
it'll
to
just go
the-
below it, but it'll function where we can take it with us when and if.
Most importantly,
We
people are
are
stuck in
here.
traffic.
Yeah, I was gonna
That-
say,
that-
it may not always be.
Yeah, it will travel with us if.
What's the status of the lease for here?
Oh, we just re-upped it,
For 3 years?
for 3
I'm
years.
assuming.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're in another 3-year lease. And then the only other thing I'll make you aware about is Nicole and I and other town staff, including IT and the police department are actively demoing automated parking options for our beaches to see if and when that will be a possibility for the town to seek out. So we're doing all that background research. We've already met with Passport. We're meeting with another vendor next week. So that's something that's coming down the pipeline.
You don't need my help with this, I'm just offering it. Anyway, when you do that, the issue is going to be if people use a Passport app versus a machine. Is the Wi-Fi issues at the beach.
Yeah.
I don't know about others, I only go to Higgins, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely part of the process.
I think,
Item
okay.
of discussion.
I just remember going to Fort Williams for a cross-country meet and being like, oh, I've got the app, this is so exciting, I'm like, I can't pay, there's no signals.
And you don't have to be fully app-based, you can have units in addition to the automated parking
that's
piece with the
good.
Passport app.
Yeah.
Or an app.
Okay, excellent.
So that's my updates for tonight.
Thank you, that's very thorough.
Yeah.
She's right up.
I was gonna say, I like, okay, so volunteer recruitment is our next goal that we talked about, and I think Emily had done that survey. Or we had compiled other questions, and we had submitted those, and is that what we're waiting for Larry, who may or may not show tonight, to let us know what's going to be on,
No, I think
Sounds
the data and the questions was more related to programming and things like that, like the data that Nicole has here from Summerfest that we also collected. We could.
oh, that's right, Brittany, we have all that.
Right,
Are we gonna-
we can certainly review that instead of jumping right into the volunteer piece. I think when we get to the volunteer piece, we need to start a framework and a structure of how we want to start the process and what we want out of the process. For our subsequent meetings to really flesh out what we want from a volunteer program for the department.
Okay, so it's not on the agenda and I don't wanna digress, but should we do a quick,
I think it would be
Update
great
from
to just have
Brittany.
Brittany
give an
kind of give us some
update from,
feedback.
yeah, the feedback you collected from Summerfest on programming?
And I can speak to.
If
It's
we
here, yeah.
switch that up and put it.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in, or Nicole. Either way, I mean, we gathered a lot of feedback. People were interacting. We had a lot of different ages come through, whether it was parents with kiddos, or some older folks. I don't want to say that, like all across the spectrum. I think the big thing is swimming pool was a big one. People really want a swimming pool. And a lot more outdoor activities, definitely for adults too. There was a lot more looking for recreational activities as adults, whether that's pickleball leagues, soccer leagues, things like that. So that was interesting to see. And then I think something we all saw was after school activities, a lot of that for the children. So they're on the little, I don't know if you synthesized it into a better format, but it was we got a lot of feedback and a lot of interesting data points, but I don't think anything revolutionary came out of that from my perspective.
I'm gonna say the boards, we actually have them right up here on this board. So the idea was that if somebody came up to us with an idea, either we wrote it or they wrote it. And then subsequently, if other people came up to the tent and they're reading them and they're like, oh yeah, I like that idea, they put the sticker next to it and added to it too with ideas. So, yeah, I mean, what Brittany said speaks to kind of the trend. The only other thing is there was a lot that we're looking for more pre-K, like as in pre-K childcare.
Oh,
Where,
childcare, not-
where right here, we've got a Clever program that's very limited.
50.
But I do also know that it's an overall conversation, not even just our school district, other ones are talking about like, how do we incorporate that into the school system? So,
So is that like the 4-year-old?
yeah, like,
pre-K
yeah,
thing?
you're
And
like
some
3 to 4
schools
years,
are
yeah.
doing that, and is it
Some schools-
childcare or?
No, it's full day child program.
So program, so I have a
So rather than
4-year-old,
like
they're
a
not
nature
going,
program, but it's all
Right.
day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
There's different models, like the school departments have their full pre-K programming, in certain towns. What we offer down here is kind of like a blended learning / daycare, our Clever program, which is upwards of 15 kids.
15 is the max, yeah.
So that's, so they're looking for an expansion of that, or a
I think the
twist
need
to
in
more
the
education?
town for a lot of those kids to have the opportunity to go. I think it's very limited in terms of the offerings in Scarborough currently.
I had a question about one of the things I see on I'll call them the kid lists. It says babysitting less. So is that something that exists, or is there like a babysitting like training class? I feel like I saw it in
We
one of the
we
brochures,
definitely
right?
do babysitting training classes. I think what somebody was looking for was like a babysitter's club. They want a list of
who to call.
babysitters, of who to call.
Sure,
Yeah.
but what it made me think of, so when I was Joseph's age, my family was stationed in Iceland. My dad was in the Navy, but we were on base. And what they did is the MWR, which is like Community Services for Military, had a babysitting course. They called it super sitters. You learned how to change a diaper, but you learned CPR and stuff like
Yep.
that. And then anyone that took that course was put on a list that was kind of approved, if you will, from that community services. And while you could ask anyone to babysit,
Right.
you knew that those people had been through the course.
Yeah.
I made so much money when I was 12, you would not even believe, because I was on that list at,
Right.
$2 an hour. So I guess I just wondered, like, for me, I would not just go to a list of people that wanted to babysit and have someone watch my child.
Correct.
But if it was a list of people that had actually like taken that class, I could
Right.
at least know, okay, if they paid attention, they're moderately more qualified than someone random I find on like Facebook.
Right.
So I wondered, as you said, it may have just been people saying, I need a list of people
But that
that
is a
can
good
help me
point. If we're
out.
offering the class.
If you have the
do we
class made.
extend that to,
Yeah, it was just something I'd throw
Yeah.
out there because I know I'd be more likely to look at that than something kind of more random.
Actually, you've already got the list. Maybe one of the things when people register
Is
you
ask if you can
them,
publish
is
it.
it okay if we publish your name? And then it's like, it looks like a public good.
Yeah. Yeah. As I see things, there's like a Scarborough Moms Facebook group and you see things all the time where people are like, my mom is sick and can't watch my son, anyone help? And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you might get random strangers that want to help you. And
right?
I know I'm more cynical than most about public safety, but still.
No, yeah.
I think the one other piece that I noted there that got a couple stars or a couple extra tabs was playgrounds. I think that even just in
Non-school
my short
playgrounds.
time here,
Yeah.
not school related playgrounds, that we need to diversify our efforts there, whether it's an inclusive playground, an off-site playground, bettering our equipment on our current playgrounds. So I intend to do an evaluation of that and our needs. And try to get it in the future capital improvement fund.
Is Black Point the one by St. Max? Is that the only one that's not co-located with the school?
There's
or
one at
in
Blue Point.
Peters.
Blue Point, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
at
one's
Peterson.
tiny.
It's
though,
very
Peterson.
tiny, yeah.
It's
I
so
met
old.
Peterson twice a week. I had never even seen it. Okay.
It's so old.
So I think that was vocalized at least from the general public, so it's something that
Interesting.
we're also looking into.
Naming rights.
Right.
Not kidding. Those are expensive.
I was there, the night I came in and helped Brittany go through, and I really think that because we were the only two there, we really missed some opportunities of people going over there, like yourself, having your kids in the grade school. You know the people coming in and their wants, and we missed a lot of things. And I know I was talking to that gentleman that wanted this, a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, put it up. I said, maybe, down the road, the group here, because of the situation in town with the schools, we may be able to get that through instead of, and build, have a place to start putting it and then expand. And it would make it easier, once you get the swimming pool, to expand to get what we want for a community service outfit. And I know you guys are busy and I'm not busy, I'm just retarded, but anyways, I think it was a good idea, and you had that all set up by the time I got there, and I did talk to a lot of folks, but being elder, I'm a few years beyond the grade school kids. Although I'll be a great grandfather next month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so maybe I'll start back with the.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's my thoughts of where we missed the boat.
So we should do it next year. Try to
Well, I
have as
would
many.
suppose that maybe we try and get a table at elections
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
continue the effort.
You
And
could
then
even
in that
bring
one, you
these
could
with
do
you.
in shifts, you know what I mean?
But you could have these up, so
Oh, yeah.
it's just.
Yeah, we would just
adding
bring them and keep on adding.
with all the stickers.
Yeah, I have.
It's such a
tons of
great idea,
stickers.
so that they're not
Well,
writing the
I
same
think,
thing.
I think what I got out of it, it was like, this worked. While it wasn't really a traditional survey, it kind of
No, it's
got to what
fantastic.
we wanted, at least to start,
I'm so
right?
grateful that
Yes.
you guys did that.
So could we think about doing that for the election day?
Yeah.
Because that's November, I don't even know what day.
Fourth, maybe?
Oh, the day I'm at SMCC.
Yeah, it is.
We can do that. So kind of moving back, if we want to move back to the volunteer recruitment piece. I don't think we're gonna have enough time tonight, tonight's meeting to really suss out what we're entirely looking for and get to the depths of it. I think from our standpoint, as an advisory board in a group together, we need to kind of establish the framework, so to speak, of what we're looking for. So really, what can make the most impact for community services, in terms of what our needs are and what where those areas are. Is it events? Is it programs? Is it the promotion of the programs that we need volunteers or boots on the ground? Is it beaches, parks, trails, open space? I think it's all of it, right? Really, right? And then additionally, town-wide, is there a way to marry that together? Are there other departments that need assistance with volunteers for various events? And how we can structurally put something like that together. So I think, establishing the needs is number one for us in a subsequent meeting. I think in addition to that, we would need to create like detailed roles and responsibilities of what we're looking for. And kind of treat them like a posting, so to speak. And just have purpose and responsibilities and what the commitments are and the requirements and needs. And marry it to like almost an HR side of things.
I thought of something a little similar to what you're saying. If somebody were to look at, say, the VIPs or Mercy Hospital, I'm familiar with them, they have a huge volunteer system. And what kind of, how it's modeled, I'm not
It's a
sure,
Great idea, Art.
but they have tons of volunteers.
They've figured something
A
out,
lot of
right?
retirees.
Right.
Ralph on the VIPs, he volunteers in a lot of things too. So it's something to look at to say, hey, could this work for us? Or could we mold it?
Maybe someone
our
there would even be able to come talk to us
Absolutely.
about that. But I was gonna ask exactly what you said, which is, I don't think I'm clear what the town needs volunteers for. I know as a concept that we do. But I think if November is when we're having this kind of in-depth, meaningful conversation, most of our meeting devoted to it. If I don't know whether that comes from you all or we're taking some type of poll, but essentially a list, not even just community services, like you said, other places. I know like at Joseph School and at church, we kind of create, it's like a rules thing, like you said, it's like a document that says, okay, like, here's the thing that we need help with. Here's the time commitment or the task. And that way someone may say, well, I love to volunteer, but I can't do this every week. And it's like, guess what? We actually just need you for Summerfest and here's
Right.
for 2 hours. Oh, I could do that. And,
Pumpkin carving.
right, like what, and make it seem very manageable. And then if people love it, they might do more things, but having kind of a one-stop shop where people can see, in my mind, you even arrange it by like most amount of time, least amount of time. And then if you want to do it, what's the next step? Do you have to have a background check? Do you, like, what do you need? Right thing. So I think having that start of what are those volunteer roles so we can understand them, is crucial, like you said. Yeah.
I think from our stance, we can probably put the framework of where the true needs are.
Yeah.
And then from the advisory board's opinion in subsequent meetings, it's trying to put that framework together
Yeah.
from start to finish. What's the application look like?
Yeah.
What's the onboarding process look like? What's the commitments? How do we get it on the town's website, our website? So it's available, because if people can't find it, they're not gonna volunteer. So I think those are pieces in future meetings that we really need to drill into. And I think it would be a great idea for outreach to VIPs or Mercy or others for an already established framework.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense in reinventing the wheel if they've got something to work
Yeah,
with.
exactly. And if that too, what kind of onboarding for those volunteers, are they gonna need CPR or
Checks.
Right,
background
and does it
vetting?
vary based on?
Depending
like,
on what it
role?
is.
Yeah,
And who you're
pumpkin
interacting.
carving, do they need to be vetted? An adult,
Life
with.
safety.
Yeah.
And,
I would not pass that one. I'm not coordinated about
a couple
that.
years ago.
Yeah.
Well, and I think once we get through that part, we get the framework, we get the policies, procedures, all that together. And then we have it built. How do we retain? How do we increase involvement and get the word out there the right way? Social medias and.
I think the perfect world, it's our effort, right? Community services starting it, but ultimately it lives on the town site. And there's multiple opportunities across the board. And it just funnels into their places.
Yeah.
Doesn't the schools have a list of the volunteers that people have volunteered in the schools?
Not
Because usually they're,
Potentially.
I'm assuming that.
usually they're to Art's point, they're vetted. There's a little bit more information, so I just know in my past life. That was something that, there was a list of all volunteers per school for all of them.
Yeah.
There's many more volunteers in the elementary level than when you get into
Right.
middle and high. So that might be a way to start, because that might be where, what we're looking at is those volunteers and seeing if they would like to do something not just school specific,
Mhm.
but age group specific outside with community services group. It's a good idea.
So I think we'll obviously add this to the agenda for the
Yeah,
next meeting when
November,
we get
yeah.
there. I think before we wrap up, do you think it would make sense for either myself or you, Trish, to read Counselor Kane's what he sent to us? Obviously, it doesn't look
Oh,
like
I
he's gonna
didn't
make
see
it.
it.
I think I have
I
it
guess
here.
we know
Pardon
who's gonna
me
read
for, pardon me for looking in my email, but I have it and I know he wanted to be here tonight. So just give me a moment.
The town did not have a volunteer coordinator, right?
Not that I'm-
And that's, yeah, that's
I mean, yeah,
building up
you're
to.
speaking, no, it doesn't currently.
I found Counselor Kane's what
Build
he
it
sent
and-
to us.
They will come.
Mm,
Well, my wife
Be a
got
good problem.
40
Yeah.
40 plus volunteers for the pool.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, right, there's, I thought they said something like 90, that there's like 90 volunteers just in that alone.
Yeah,
So,
and covering all the beaches that we
Yeah.
have, and a lot of that is just being out there and meeting people. That's where I guess I came from when we talked about that you get to talk about the program, and first thing it says, well, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, even last week, she got 2 people and the program's over with for this year, put me on the list for next year. So it's, you know, it's something that the town needs, by the way.
Agree. So Trish, do you want to jump ahead to,
So, okay, let's see. Yeah, why don't we do that? And then we'll just go back. It sounds like our next meeting is November, we said a date?
13.
I
November
think we can
13th.
do Counselor Kane's update. I'll read that and then we can jump to
To
confirming
the finding the
meetings
meetings and the,
and
we
the
kind of know what the agenda is gonna be. It's gonna be volunteer, but, okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna go ahead and read it. It says, "Hi Trish and Nick, in the event that I'm delayed at the finance committee meeting, I wanted you to have my liaison notes to share at the CSAB meeting. I sincerely apologize for missing tonight's meeting. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you for your time and dedication to improving community services for everyone in Scarborough. As you probably know, I was just elected to the council in June. In that short time, my focus has been learning as much as possible. Here are some updates. Summerfest was a wonderful success with record attendance. I thought the Scarborough Community Services booth with CSAB was creative. The easel pads were a great way to get actionable input from the community. School Building Committee. There is a plan to create a post-referendum building committee, assuming it passes. Both Councilor Seither and I requested that this committee have a representative from Scarborough Community Services to contribute input towards the needs of Scarborough Community Services programming in the future. Update for the survey. There will be a couple questions on the upcoming town survey that will measure satisfaction and future needs for Scarborough Community Services programming. In addition, there will be a question to gauge the satisfaction about the beach access outlined in the current animal control ordinance, with specific answers about making the ordinance more restrictive, less restrictive, or no changes. And lastly, senior tax relief. I'm bringing a proposed amendment through the finance committee to increase the current rebate from $1,000 to $1,200. If passed, there may be an opportunity to promote that through Scarborough Community Services Senior Focused Programming. Thanks again for the opportunity to work with you. Feel free to contact me at any time. So thank you, Councilor Kane, for that update. Nicole and I had met with Councilor Kane. I know Trish has met with Councilor Kane. We're really excited to have him aboard. We enjoyed our time and Karen, Councilor Shoup's time with us and time and energy with all of our focuses. And we're looking forward to working with Councilor Kane. He seems very energetic towards community services as a whole, and how he can be an asset to us and our advisory board.
Ditto. Anybody have any questions or comments on anything we talked about?
For agenda, I think you should add a beach review.
Okay.
Because-
Yeah,
Because if you need to change any or want to change anything, it's gotta be done.
yeah. And we should have
January.
revenue numbers by then, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just an
Yeah.
overview, just to compare
Yep.
compare 24 to 25
Right.
and,
Because of the changes.
you know, if
the
it's
impact.
close, it's great.
Right.
It's-
Well, I think also that was one that we had to go to the town council for, didn't we, for our recommendations? last
Yes.
time?
Yeah, and then they added 7 different amendments.
Exactly, right. So can we just go back? Well, actually, I have it in my email. I can do it when I do the minutes. Okay,
I think we just need to confirm the meeting date, number one, for our next meeting. Do we have that?
oh, it was November.
November 13th.
November 13th, okay.
I will not be here, or I may be here, I'm flying back from Florida that day, so
Okay.
depending on how that goes.
You never know.
So
we have the-
Art and Roger will still be, you'll still be here.
I'll
That
be
will
the
be your
last
last
meeting.
meeting.
I'll have to bring snacks.
I know, I was definitely thinking we should
I'll
do
bring
that.
cookies. Anyone have any allergies?
Okay,
And then the other primary focus will be around the volunteer
Right,
yeah,
framework.
so you'll have a needs assessment, so to speak, and then we can start working on the framework. Okay. Anything else? And will you keep us posted too on applications? When will we know?
Yeah, I'll touch base with the town clerk, Kristen Barth, and see, I think they come in November and they go to the appropriations committee or whatever that the committee is. the
Appointments,
appointments committee, and they seek out input from us as well. But I will follow up and have a better idea. For November.
Okay, I think that's it. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I think we're adjourned.
5 minutes ahead of schedule.
This was exceptional.